New developments in the case of a woman sentenced to death for her Christian faith as we get these new pictures showing Meriam, Ibrahim, and her infant daughter inside of a deadly and overcrowded Sudanese prison where they sit tonight. Look at her. She looks emaciated. She was forced to give birth just a few weeks ago. This is the first look we've had at her in some time. She's been locked up for months with her infant and her 20-month-old after she was arrested for marrying her husband, a Christian and a U.S. citizen, and refusing to renounce her Christian faith. She's been sentenced to 100 lashes before she is hanged. Today, protesters took to the White House here, demanding action. Senator Ted Cruz and Tony Perkins of the Family Research Council, among others, calling on President Obama to act. Yesterday, I had the chance to speak with Senator Cruz about it. Here's what he had to say. Senator, now a counterpart to you in the House, Tom Cotton, is pushing to grant Meriam U.S. citizenship. She's the mother of 2 U.S. citizens. She's got her 20-month-old in the prison as well. Will we do that? How can we? And would it help?
Well, it would certainly help. It's something that I'm working with a number of senators in the U.S. Senate to do the exact same thing. And I commend Tom Cotton for taking the lead in the House on this matter. You know, our country was founded by people fleeing religious oppression, and we sometimes forget how lucky we are to have religious liberty. Meriam Ibrahim is in a Sudanese prison with her toddler son and her newborn baby girl, and she has been sentenced to die for being a Christian. The sentence is that she will be whipped 100 times and then hung by the neck till dead unless she renounces Christ. And Meriam Ibrahim has said, I will not renounce Christ. And she is married to an American from New Hampshire. And I have to say, Megan, as you look at this outrage, this atrocity, one of the first questions that comes to mind is, where is the president? Where is the President of the United States? Why is President Obama not standing up on the world stage and saying, free Meriam Ibrahim? You are not going to execute this woman for her religious faith, for her Christian faith. You are not going to whip her to death and take her away from her babies who are U.S. citizens, from her husband who's a U.S. citizen. We need American leadership because this is heartbreaking, and we also need the prayers of Americans all across this country.
If that appeals court does not do the right thing, this is not going to end well. And the question I had initially was, maybe the State Department is working behind the scenes. They won't really tell us what they're doing. But the husband says, no, they're not. He says he's not getting help on this. Do you believe that to be the case?
Well, if the State Department is working behind the scenes, I don't know of it. I can tell you a couple of weeks ago, I was in Israel and I visited with Natan Sharansky, who the famed Soviet dissident who spent years in a Soviet gulag, and he talked about the power of the President of the United States speaking out for freedom. He talked about how in the Soviet gulags, the prisoners would pass from cell to cell notes. Did you hear what President Reagan said? He called the Soviet Union an evil empire. He said, tear down this wall. Megan, why isn't the president speaking out against this grotesque violation of religious freedom? This woman is sentenced to death for being a Christian. Wow. The President of the United States should be outraged, and no one can speak to this with the force and power of the president. We need to see presidential leadership here.
We're going to stay on this. 27 years old with 2 babies in a Sudanese prison. Senator, thanks for being here.
Thank you. God bless you.
There is a petition at frc.org/Sudan for those who want to weigh in and offer their support of Meriam Ibrahim and push our government to do something about it.